Hello friends, myself Ravi and today I am here with my Viva topic, that is access modifiers and non-access modifiers in Java. So today's date 9th of the August 2022. So first we will talk about access modifiers. So in many of the programming languages there are only three types of access modifiers, that is public, protected and private. But when you talk about Java support one more extra access modifier, that is default. So in Java there are four types of access modifiers, that is public, private, protected and default. So first we will talk about private. So when we define a class or a class as private, so the class can the members of class can be accessed, or the properties of class can access within the class only. Suppose we have a class A and in which we define some methods, that is M1, M2 and M3. So the methods of class A is accessed within the class A only. So it cannot be accessed within the package if it is defined in the package and there are some other classes, but it cannot, the other classes cannot access the members of class A. It cannot access outside by any package, outside of package, or it cannot access if it is inherited. Suppose we create another class B extended from class A, but class A is private, so because of private, the class B can access the properties of class A. So this is all about private. The next part is default. Suppose if it doesn't define any access modifier while writing or defining a class, it considered as default. So the default or the members of default class can access within the class, and it can access within the same package also. If we have one package, that is package test. In test package we have consist 3 to 4 classes, that is we can say class A, class B, class C. So if our class A is default, so class B and class C can access the properties of class A because they are present in the same package, and class A inside itself can access the properties of class A also. So but if we define our class as default, the inherited members, or suppose another class is inherited from class A that cannot access the properties of class A, and another classes which are present outside of that package can't access the properties of class A. So this is about default. The next part is protected. So the protected is like that. Suppose we define our class as protected, it will access inside the class, it will access inside the package, same package, and it will access or its property can access by child or inherited class. Suppose we have class for example A, and from class A class B is extended, so class B can access the properties of class A if it is present inside the package or outside the package, but it can access the properties of class A. But in protected, if there are some classes which are present outside of the package but not extended from class A or that protected class, that classes can't access the properties of that class. So this is all about protected. The next part is public. So as its name, public, it can access within the class, within the package, by its inherited classes outside of the package also, which are, and it is accessed from everywhere or from any package. So public is accessible by any package or any classes. So this is about access modifiers. So the next part is non-access modifiers. So First we will talk about non-access modifier of class. So for class there are two types of non-access modifiers. First is final and second is abstract. Sorry. So we will talk about final. If we define our class as final, so it will don't allow the user or any other classes to inherit from that class. Suppose we have our class, for example class A, and we define it as final. So we can't inherit another class. That is, we can't create its child class which can access its properties. So we can't create or we can't inherit the properties of final class. The next part is abstract class. Suppose we define our class as abstract. If we define our class as abstract, to access we can't create object of that class. So to access the properties of abstract class, we have to inherit that class, and the inherited class or the child class, using the child class object we can access the properties of abstract class. Suppose we have class A which is abstract class, and to access the properties of class A, we can't create the object of class A because that is abstract. So to access the properties or the methods of class A, we have to inherit that class. So we have to create another class that we can say that is child class, which is extended from class A, that is abstract class, and we have to create the object of that class. Suppose if our class A is abstract class, and we define another class that is class B extended from class A. So we will create the object of class B. Using the object of class B, we will access the properties or methods of class A. So without creating the object of class A. That is all about abstract class. So the next part is non-access modifiers in methods. So there are mainly 5 to 6 non-access modifiers for a method, but we will talk about 2 to 3 which are mainly used or main parts. So first is final. So when we define our method as final method, so we can't override that method, and when we so if we have two classes from class A, class B is extended, so our class A contains one method which is final, which is declared as final. So in class B we can't override that method or we can't edit that method using class B. So that is the working of final method. The second part is static. So when we define or declare any method as static, so because static keyword is related to class only, so when we create some methods or variables inside a class which are instance variables, for every object class will create another copy of that variable separately for every object. But if the members or if the methods are defined as static, the static member will share itself with other. There is only one copy of static method within the class, within the whole class. If we create 100 objects, there will be only one copy of static method. So that will be the use of static access modifier. The last part is abstract. So abstract method is used inside abstract class only. Suppose we define our class as abstract. Inside abstract class we can write our method abstract method. If our class is not abstract class, we can't write abstract method inside it. So when we define our method as abstract, so there is no body defined declare of that method. Suppose our class is class A, which is abstract class, and in which we contain one method, that is show method, which is abstract method. So there is no body of the show. So just we need to declare it inside the abstract class. So as we know, if our class is abstract, we can't create object of that class. So we have to inherit that class into another class. Suppose Our class A is abstract class which contain another method, that is abstract method. To access class A method, we have to create another class, that is class B, which is extended from class A. Using class B object we can access the members of class A. So the body of show is defined in the class B, and using class B we can access the members or the methods of class A, and the body of show, which is abstract method, is written in the class B. So that's all from myself, and I like to stop here. Thank you.